Hey, everybody. How's it going? Happy Sunday night football, Vikings fans and Colts fans, I guess. Thanks for watching, whether you're watching now, later, whenever. Appreciate you stopping by. And Vikings got flexed tonight versus the Colts. And it's going to be Joe Flacco, crafty veteran, starting for the Indianapolis Colts instead of Anthony Richardson. That's his name, right? Yeah. I'm tired. Take me out. I'm tuckered out. So we'll see how it goes for the Vikings. Coming off a couple of hard last couple of weeks here for the Vikings, so we'll see if they can bounce back tonight. You guys normally know how I do over here. I'm going to be looking at the astrology chart, and I will make a prediction on who I think is going to win the game today. I'm going to do a little previous recap of last week too, to just touch on that, and then not streaming the entire game tonight, just going to do the planetary pregame, and then we'll watch it all play out, and then I'll report back later. So again, thanks everybody for stopping by. Joseph, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for saying hi. And if anybody does want to watch play-by-play of the game tonight, you can scamper on over to his channel because he's going to be doing the entire game tonight. So feel free. And if you're not subscribed, definitely go do that. Summer Home, hello. Thank you for joining us. Always good to see you. JJ, you are still there. PPS, I love that you're using PPS. Nobody uses PPS because you already did the PS. So PPS, I like it. Love your hair. Thank you. I appreciate that. My hair is kind of behaving right now. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And just to do a little recap of last week. Well, I guess over a week ago now, because they were playing Thursday night football. So for the Vikings, they've been in some, spotlight action the last couple of weeks here. So Thursday night versus the Rams, that didn't necessarily go too well for them. And then now tonight, the game was flexed, like I said earlier, to Sunday night extravaganza. And it would be really, really nice if the Vikings could win this one to kind of keep up with Detroit, who has every capability, it seems like at this point, to kind of run away with the NFC North. So we shall have to see what happens. And then last week or last game for the Vikings, my previous prediction was I had the Rams beating the Vikings by 1 to 2 points, was my prediction a little over a week ago. And the final score of that was the Vikings 20, the Rams 30. So I was right on the victor, but a little bit off on the points. It's more like 1 to 2 point victory for the Rams. No, more like 10 points. So, and then I'll pull up the chart here and see what's going on. PPPS. I like that. Thank you very much for the continuing plug. Of course, surprised you're not doing the full stream. I actually am not doing the full stream because my mom is actually in town visiting from Arizona. So that's why I'm not doing the whole thing, even though, I could be easily sucked in and do that, but just a little visitor action over here. So that's kind of why. Spend a little bit more time there. But hi, Ryan. How are you doing? Hello. Had a good restful Sunday. That's good. Very nice. My only nerve about tonight is if the Colts get going, the Vikings don't be afraid to adjust. Yes, I agree with that, Ryan. It seems like the Vikings do have a tough time adjusting, especially offensively with Kevin O'Connell, right? Too much coddling. Okay. Stop. Get your diapers changed before the game. Okay. So, Soda 612. Let's go. Lighting looks crazy. Oh, hopefully crazy good and not crazy bad. It's always a lighting challenge in here, but good to see you. Yeah. Oh, looks cozy. All right. I read that wrong. Yes, looks cozy. I like that. I thought it was crazy. I'm like, okay, hopefully crazy in a good way. Yes, it's very cozy in here. Cozy vibe. Hopefully everybody that was affected by daylight savings too is adjusting to that as well. But yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. What part of Arizona? Well, she's not from there, but she lives there now. So she's down kind of in the Tucson area of Arizona. So she's up here visiting before it gets super, super cold. We were actually going to maybe go to the game tonight, but that didn't happen. It is super rainy here. It is dreary. And tickets are so freaking expensive. It's nuts. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I want to see the team do a little bit more before we give some more money to the team. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. So JJ, everybody's going to have to come on over to your stream. Okay. I'll try to stop over and say hi as well. And then I'm hoping maybe tomorrow or in the next like day or two to maybe do just like a little post game recap after the game is over, since I'm not doing the entire game tonight. I was referring more to the defense. Okay, to the D. The offense did a decent job carrying the game last Thursday. Okay, that's fair, Ryan. Yeah. So Brian Flores, what are you gonna cook up here? What do you got in your cauldron? All right, for tonight. And two, I'm gonna get into this a little bit more when I break down the chart, but that makes me think of something that I did want to touch on. Angel, hello, how are you doing? Everybody's got our wings now. That's very nice. You have the Vikings 24-20. Okay, we shall see in a close one. That would be good. And I'm just hoping for everybody involved because, again, it is Sunday Night Football, that it's just not a snoozer, okay? And if it is going to be a blowout of any sort of capacity, hopefully it's on the Vikings side, but hopefully this game is going to be good. The Colts are 4-4. Vikings are 5-2. And for the Colts, they have a crafty veteran, Joe Flacco, coming in. So now I'm going to share the chart, the astrology chart for the game tonight, and I'll kind of break it down a little bit, and then I will make a pick. I have been kind of looking at this one for the last, I don't know, it seems like a couple hours here, kind of looking back and forth. And it's like, I feel like I have the prediction down on who's going to win. And then I look at something else and I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel confident. But I mean, the charts are always hard, but I feel like they get harder every week or something. But then sometimes when you look at it more, it's just like, okay, maybe just take a step back. Okay. Maybe go with like your first gut instinct. But yeah, so we'll see what's going on. Again, I appreciate everybody stopping by, hanging out. Hope you're having a really great Sunday. Continue to do so. And all right, so I'm going to pull up the chart here and I'm going to share. All right, I'm going to kind of blow it up a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. Here. All right, so double checking the time. All righty, kind of put it in the middle. I think that doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too shabby. Oh yeah, and then JJ too, back to your original comment. I know it didn't pop up on here. But yeah, thank you for the luck. And the Cardinals are beating the Bears. Congratulations about that. And what's up with your Cards? It seems like they're kind of on the upswing right now. So that's kind of exciting. I don't know. And it's like, is Arizona kind of like the sneaky sleeper team right now that nobody's really like paying attention to, or what's going on there? So maybe you can give us a little bit more insight on that. But yeah, so peeps, here's the game chart for tonight. The game is in Minneapolis. It is slated for a 7:20 Central Time start, which is about 40 minutes from now. It's about 6:41 over here. So I'm going to show you guys the two planets that are ruling each team. I'm going to look at the moon, and then we'll kind of look at some other things too. I'll explain as I go. I think the majority of you know that already. So the Indianapolis Colts, they are the visitors tonight, and we'll start with them. They're actually over here in the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to be the ruler of the Colts tonight. And one thing that I actually just thought of right now is that the Colts, they have that horseshoe symbol, right? The good luck charm. And Jupiter is our greater benefic planet. It can often bring good luck. So I just thought of that right now. So making a mental note there, that's something that I missed earlier when I was just looking too hard into it. So, all right, we'll just make a little mental note of that for the Colts today. It's like they maybe have an extra horseshoe or something being ruled by Jupiter. We'll have to see. And so Jupiter, again, that being the Colts, they are, Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, and Jupiter's retrograde right now. So Jupiter, he's behaving a little bit differently than he normally does because he is retrograde. Not to mention Jupiter naturally rules Sagittarius. So since Jupiter is in the sign opposite to which it rules, it's in its detriment. Jupiter does not feel comfortable in the sign of Gemini. So right there, it kind of is like a wash for the Colts. Like Jupiter is the greater benefic planet for all of us, can again bring good luck. So that's good for the Colts. But the fact that Jupiter is retrograde and in Gemini in its detriment is not so good. So it's kind of a wash there, I feel like, a little bit. And then for the Vikings, they're the home team. So they're represented by Gemini right over here in their first house. And Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So Mercury is actually right over here at 1 degree of Sagittarius. So yeah. And Mercury in Sagittarius, does just fine over here. Nothing, super crazy. But the one thing for the Vikings, it's like, so Mercury is their ruler. Mercury is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruling the Colts tonight. So are the Colts gonna kind of whoop up then on the Vikings? Is that what that means? All right, because Mercury being in Sagittarius, since Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Mercury's what's called Lord is Jupiter. And for the Vikings, one thing that I don't like for them is the fact that Jupiter, again, being the Colts, is in the Vikings' 12th house of hidden enemies. I don't like that for them. And Jupiter, again, being the Colts, is very, very close to the Vikings in general. All right. So just throwing that out there. All right. Hi, William. How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Contortion. Hello. I like seeing people from Twitch pop by. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. All right. So for both of these teams, just looking at the planets that rule them tonight, like, okay, there's maybe some good, some bad from both, but that's kind of how it always goes. And then another thing that I look at always is the moon. Like, what's the moon doing? Because she is in control of so many things. And the moon actually is ruled by Jupiter as well. The moon is right over here at 10 degrees in Sagittarius. And the moon, she is very, very close to the Vikings, that being Mercury. However, the moon has moved away from Mercury. So the moon was giving a little support to the Vikings, but the moon is going to continue to move away from the Vikings. So the next thing that the moon is going to do is what's called a square. If you see this red line here, a square to Saturn, because Saturn is at 12 degrees in Pisces. So a square is tension. That's not very good. That's tough. That's tough. So the next thing that the moon is going to be doing is squaring Saturn. And Saturn is ruling the Vikings' 10th house of how they're going to show out to the public tonight. So I do think for the Vikings, this being a home game for them, that the fans and the crowd, they're really going to have to help. And when Saturn comes into play, we've talked about Saturn before. Saturn can bring delays, blockages. It can slow things down. So the fact that Saturn rules the Vikings' 10th house of how they show out to the public, and Saturn is also in the Vikings' 10th house of how they show out to the public, somehow the crowd could be taken out of this game as well, because the moon also in world astrology, she rules the people. So the moon, it could be like the Colts fans maybe starting to take over a little bit here. I mean, again, we'll have to see how it plays out, but just throwing that out there. William, just got back to my hotel room in Philadelphia. That one was brutal. Yeah, what was the final score for your Eagles today? Did you go to the game? Were you there? That's cool if you did. Hey, Eric, how's it going down in New Mexico? Yes, good to see you. Very good. Skol's all the way. Eric is very positive. We like that over here. We like that a lot. We need the positivity. We need some purple positivity over here. But to anybody that is drinking the purple Kool-Aid, let me just remind you, safe sipping, okay? Don't guzzle. Safe siply. Sip safely. There we go. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, I did see that. You changed your profile pic. I see your Eagles hat there. Were you at the game today? That's cool if you were. That's exciting. All right. So talking about the moon, that's the next thing she's going to do. And then for each of these two teams, I'm also going to take a look at their 5th house of games. Again, that's how they play their game, entertainment. For the Vikings, their 5th house of their game is in the sign of Libra, right over here. And Libra is ruled by the planet Venus. So looking at Mercury, again, that's the Vikings tonight, and Venus, they're also ruled by Jupiter because they're in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, Venus is at 20 degrees of Sagittarius and Mercury is at 1 degree. Now, Mercury is a very fast mover, but Mercury is, 19 degrees away from Venus. Again, Venus rules the fifth house of the Vikings game. So it's like they're both in the same sign, which is good. But they're kind of far away here. They're not really aspecting each other or doing anything. Again, being in the same sign is good. And then the moon is in the middle there. The moon will eventually collide with Venus, which is good, but not by the time this game is over. So that doesn't necessarily count right now. All right. Pony girl, not really sure what that means, but all right. We'll see it. They had a 22-0 lead at one point, really, but they got the win. What was the final score? I don't even know who the Eagles played today, but I'm glad that they got the win for you. I don't like your team, but I will say that to support you. So, that's crazy. And maybe did it get a little hairy there? 22-point lead, kind of blowing that. And then I'm going to take a little look here too, again, on the flip side of the Colts fifth house, how they're going to play the game. So for the Colts, their fifth house is in the sign of Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So if I'm looking at Mars is right over here in the sign of Cancer. Now, by the time this game is over, Mars will have moved into the sign of Leo. So Mars being in Cancer, Mars does not feel comfortable in Cancer at all. But again, Mars is going to move out of Cancer over into the sign of Leo. So that is something to watch too. Like towards the end of this game, could we see some sort of resurgence or kind of the Colts kind of taking the reins? All right. No pun intended really, but pun intended also, by the end of this game. Not to mention that when Mars does move into Leo, Mars is going to be trining Mercury, which is very, very good. And Mercury, again, rules the Vikings. Now, if we look at Mars is in the Vikings' second house of what they own, their money. So eventually, it's going to trine them, which is good, but not until the very, very end. So for the Colts, another thing for them to kind of look out for is that they have Chiron, which is the wounded healer. It's a fixed star. They have Chiron in their fifth house of games. Now, I would normally be like that, ouch, that's tough for the Colts, but they get a little bit of a break because Venus right over here is trining Chiron, which is good for the Colts, not so good for the Vikings. All right. Now, Jupiter, again, being the Colts, Jupiter doesn't feel comfortable in Gemini where it is. Jupiter is not doing anything with Mars, which again rules the Colts' fifth house of game. All right. So it might be a little bit of a struggle for the Colts to kind of get something going too. Now, for the Colts, for their 10th house, how they show out to the public tonight, that house is ruled by the sun. Now, one thing, the sun is at 12 degrees of Scorpio, and the sun is making, if you see this thick blue line here, is making a very, very good harmonious aspect with Saturn, okay? So right there, the Colts might kind of surprise some people tonight, okay? Now, another thing, too, that I looked up is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is going to be starting for the Colts tonight. Now, the Colts originally had Anthony Richardson starting for them, but he was tired, last week. So they're like, all right, dude, bye, see you later. Now, Joe Flacco is a sun in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules older people. And it's interesting to me because I was listening to the radio before this game. They kept referring to Joe Flacco as the old man, which is kind of fitting. Again, because he's a Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now, the sun is supporting Saturn right there. So that is good for both the Colts and the Vikings, because for the Colts, the sun rules their 10th house of how they show out to the public tonight. Saturn rules the Colts' second house of money, what they own, which is good. So it's like, okay, which team is going to get it here? Which team is going to get it? All right. William. Yep. Oh, nice. You were there. That is fun. Yeah, I was there and they won 28-23 versus Jacksonville. Poor Trevor Lawrence. Okay. That's fun though. I bet it made it a little entertaining for you. Maybe a little scary at some points there. Swerve 95. What house is Saturn in? So, well, first, Saturn is in the Vikings' 10th house of how they show up to the public tonight. And Saturn is in the 4th house of the Colts' home, of their home base, which is interesting because they're traveling. So I could also see quite a few Colts fans at the game today, too. And for the Vikings, their 4th house of their home stadium tonight, is ruled by the sun. And the sun is in their 5th house of games. So I think the fans are going to be ready for this game tonight. Vikings hopefully are ready for this game tonight. And I think it could be kind of a close one today. Kind of what Angel was saying earlier. He had a prediction of Vikings 24, Colts 20. And back to Joe Flacco again, just to kind of keep going on this a little bit. Again, so he's a Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn can come back and kind of either reward or stop something. Either, I've seen Saturn, when Saturn is prominent in a game chart, I have seen that play out where a team wins with time expiring or they lose with time expiring. Like they're trying to come back and maybe kick a field goal or throw the ball around or something like that, and they run out of time. Because Saturn is also father time here. All right. And again, Saturn is in the Vikings' 10th house of how they show out to the public tonight. And their 10th house is also ruled by Saturn. Okay. And for the Vikings, they are ruled by Mercury here. And Mercury is really far away from Venus. But again, they're both in the same sign. The only thing that worries me is a lot of the things for the Vikings are in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet that is ruling the Colts tonight. So it's just it's like this push and pull. And if you look to, Venus is directly opposing Jupiter. Again, Jupiter is the Colts tonight. Venus rules the Colts' 11th house of wishes coming true, wishes granted. And it also rules how they serve and how they work. Now, one other thing, because it's just so much back and forth, there's not really a huge outlier to me just yet. The strongest thing that I'm seeing in this chart, the strongest positive thing I'm seeing here is, again, the sun at 12 degrees of Scorpio, exactly trining in very, very good communication with Saturn. Saturn is at 12 degrees of Pisces, okay? Now, the moon, again, is going to square Saturn. So that makes me a little concerned for the Vikings, for both of them, okay? My damn nerves are shot, but you're going to the bar. All right. Well, hopefully everything can, you got the win. Hopefully the nerves come back. All right. And it sounds like you had a good time. So that's all that matters, right? Angel, thanks for the content tonight, Jade. Always a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place with the chart today. And maybe because I do feel a little bit all over the place with the chart, because again, there's not really an outlier. And I'll tell you guys that when I originally looked at this chart, I was like, all right, I think the Vikings are going to win. And another reason, so it's I don't want to necessarily go against my gut. Because again, Mercury ruling the Vikings tonight is also very, very fitting because um, Mercury rules Gemini. Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Vikings, is a Gemini. Sam Darnold, the quarterback of the Vikings, is a Gemini. Justin Jefferson, the star wide receiver for the Vikings, is also a Gemini. So it is so fitting, okay? And for the Vikings. The one thing that just kind of is concerning me is that Mercury, again, being the Vikings, Mercury is not really getting any help from any other planets. You know, like it's not really getting communication from any other planet. So that just kind of is like, are the Vikings just going to be like, oh, hi, we showed up, we're here, but we're not really doing anything right now? That's a little concerning to me. Okay. And then again, not to mention that Mercury is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the ruler of the Colts today. All right. And it's also kind of interesting to me, just looking at this chart, that not only are the Colts in the Vikings' 12th house of hidden enemies, the Vikings are also in the Colts' 12th house of hidden enemies. Okay? So it's just like, it's like I find one good thing for one team, and then I find another good thing, and then not so good thing for either one. You know what I mean? So, all right. It is 7:00 here, so we got about 20 minutes until game time. 406, what do you got? I'm really tired of Kevin Dumbass not punting on the season after a key injury. Kirk Cousins is injured. Should we trade Hunter? No, let's salvage the season with Josh Jobs. Yay! Cam Robinson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, to kind of piggyback on that, it is kind of frustrating to hear Kevin O'Connell every week, after a loss say, well, it's on me. I got to do better. Okay, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Okay. Are you coddling even more? Or that's not working here. Okay. What are you doing? What's going on? All right. So it's a little bit like, okay, we can believe you the first couple of times you're going to say that, but when you don't adjust or do anything, that's what's bothersome. And then TJ Hawkinson is going to be back for the Vikings today, so we'll see how that goes. Hasn't played since last season. And then I think for the Vikings, it's going to be very, very crucial that Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson are aligned tonight, okay? And to not give Joe Flacco time to get in the groove, even though I feel like for the Vikings, they're going to have to keep it up the whole entire game, because I could see something towards the end of the game here where the Colts get some sort of kind of resurgence here. And again, since Joe Flacco is starting, he's an older veteran quarterback who has won a Super Bowl. He's a Capricorn, rolled by Saturn. Saturn's in for the long haul, okay? If you don't keep up, Saturn's going to close the door, slam it right in front of your face when you were going somewhere. So the Vikings do have to watch out for that. But again, for Joe Flacco, if a negative, the moon is going to square Saturn, and that's not good. That's not helpful, okay? So 406, we're never going to win a Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. But they haven't done it yet, right? I mean, at this point, as Vikings fans, we can be hopeful and positive, but we'll believe it when we see it, okay? We'll believe it when we see it. And when was the last time we got the closest? Case Keenum, thank you. We miss you. Come back. That's all I'm going to say about that. DM, good to see you. Aloha. How's it going? Yeah. Oh, good afternoon. Are you going to be able to watch the game today? Hope the Vikings can get back on track. That would be so nice. They have to be ready for Flacco because he can shred the Vikings secondary. Thank you. Yes. Another good point there. And I still just can't get over that they just keep calling Joe Flacco the old man, and he's a Capricorn. And Capricorn, again, ruled by Saturn, rules old people, older people. So it's just very fitting. And Saturn is karma, so it could come back to get you. So the fact, too, that Joe Flacco is just getting kind of this resurgence in his own career at a, quote, old age for a quarterback is also kind of fitting here. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking as a Vikings fan where I'm like, is this going to be the game that everybody's going to be like, Joe Flacco, all right, he's going to lead the Colts. All right, he's able to go into Minneapolis and beat the Vikings. And now look at this. They got, the Colts, they've left the stable. So you could kind of see something maybe happening like that too. So we'll have to see though. Oh, sorry, DM, I missed your second comment. Here's some superstitious coincidence. I like that. 5 games I can't watch. Vikings win 5. The 2 games that I can watch, though I didn't watch the Rams game. Oh no, they lose those 2. Now here's the question for you, DM. Are you able to watch the game today? I'm assuming you're going to be able to watch it. I'm assuming you are. So I'm like, okay, I might have to use that too in my prediction. Because again, when I first started streaming, this is going to be like a game time prediction for me here. All right. Hi, Jesse. How are you doing? Are you staying safe out there? Happy Sunday. Oh, you're in Boise, Idaho this week. And I'm not as late as it was last week. Hey, whenever you want to join, that's great. I'm happy. Even if you want to stop by just for a second and say, hey, that's great. I appreciate that. And welcome. And I've been kind of all over the place, Jesse, with the prediction, so you really haven't missed too much of the planetary pregame. All right. DM, BTW. Yes, I can watch tonight's game. I don't. Now, you don't know if that's a good thing though. Well, hopefully that streak can break a little bit here, right? All right. So back to the chart. Because again, I do have to eventually make a prediction here. It's just like, again, when I first looked at this chart and I was first just kind of looking at some stuff without diving too deep into it, I was like, I think the Vikings should have it here. I think they should bounce back. And that mainly was, again, because their ruler is Gemini. There's so many predominant Geminis on the Vikings. And also, I do think that the fans are actually going to have to help today, stay the course, stay up, don't get too tired. Hopefully everybody hasn't been tailgating too hard where they're going to be, falling asleep or losing some steam here. Because for the Vikings, their 4th house, again, of their home, the stadium, is ruled by Leo, and Leo's ruled by the sun. And the sun is in the Vikings' 5th house. The sun, again, is trining Saturn absolutely perfectly. That's great. This blue line, we like to see it. And for the Vikings, Saturn rules their 10th house of how they're going to show up to the public tonight. Saturn is also in the Vikings' 10th house of how they're going to show up to the public tonight. But again, Saturn rules older people. Joe Flacco is that older quarterback coming through. And on the flip side, for the Colts, how they show out to the public tonight is ruled by the sun, okay? And the sun, again, is trining Saturn, and Saturn rules what the Colts own. People, what's it going to be? Hi, Vernon. Good to see you. How's it going? Did you find out, did you go to the gender reveal? I actually forgot what I thought that your sister was having, but did you find out? I feel like, did I say it was a girl? I was just curious if you found out if that was right, but good to see you, Vernon. Oh, thanks, Jesse. I appreciate the compliment. I'll take it. Thank you. William, at least I can watch the Vikings game tonight on my phone. Oh, it's on Peacock. Yeah, right on. It's on NBC or whatever. So that's good. All right, peeps. So it's been another 7 minutes of me blathering away, and I'm still just like, and I don't know why. I can't get this the Joe Flacco, the Capricorn, the Saturn the thing out of my brain here. It just makes me think that in the end, Joe Flacco is somehow gonna manage to dagger the Vikings in some capacity. All right. But man, and and part of me, again, I don't want to go against my original thought either, but then it's I can't ignore that little voice back there, the Joe Flacco coming in there and okay, what's he going to be able to cook up? All right. And the last prediction that I did with the Rams and the Vikings, I had that same kind of little inkling here. And I did pick the Rams to win, and then they did end up winning, So it's just like I don't want to go against, my better judgment, but oh, you haven't found out yet? Okay. It's all good. I think I said girl though, but we'll see. But yeah. Every time I've tuned in from west of Mississippi, we've won. So I like our chances tonight. Nice. I might have to be in a Western 11-stage driver for the rest of the season if we win tonight. All right. Between that, Jesse, that's good. But here's the thing. It evens out again because Dion was talking about, he's able to watch the game today, and the games that he's been able to watch in Hawaii, they've lost. So it's like, damn it. What's going to take the cake here? Okay. So 406, I'm really sick of these boring uniforms. We've had them for a decade plus now. Time to permanently change to the throwbacks. Are they wearing throwbacks tonight? And I agree with you. It's like, okay, let's spice it up a little bit. I personally really like the all purple with the yellow numbers. I really, really like that. That would be so nice if they wore that. And I don't think that they're doing a whiteout at the stadium tonight, but I think that's also kind of like the kiss of death, is like the whiteout. Like, no, don't do that. They're only doing that because they want to sell you more shit and they want to make the stadium look more full. Like, stop. It happened to the Lynx, too. They did a whiteout. What was that? Kind of like the kiss of death. All right. So, again, we'll see what happens. Okie doke. Now, I'm going to write my prediction in here. Let me try to... People, I might kick my own ass later. I might kick my own ass. And again, for those of you that don't know, I am a Vikings fan, but as an astrologer, when I read the chart, I have to stay objective. I cannot be subjective because that's just no, you can't do that because that's not the way that it works. It's kind of cut and dry is how it is. It's just, am I reading the chart correctly? Am I getting everything? That's the kicker, because it's going to play out how it plays out. But am I seeing it right? Am I seeing everything? So another thing for the Vikings that I don't really care for is that Uranus is the planet of upheaval, of surprises. It's the unexpected. Uranus is also the modern day ruler of the Vikings' 10th house, because the Vikings' 10th house, again, how they show out to the public tonight, is in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn, but the modern day ruler is Uranus. So for the Vikings too, I don't like the fact that Uranus is in their 12th house of what is hidden from them. Again, hidden enemies. Okay. But again, on the flip side, if you look at the Colts, they have Mercury, the Vikings, in their 12th house of hidden enemies. They have the moon in their 12th house of hidden enemies, and they have Venus in their 12th house of hidden enemies. So a lot of things could also go wrong for them. All right. I've made many elite Joe Flacco jokes in the past. Time for the football gods to punish me with a 5-touchdown performance by Flacco. Oh, damn. Yeah, and as a Vikings fan, just as a fan, I have a little bit of a weird feeling about tonight. And it seems like there's so much pressure on for the Vikings because they've lost the last 2 weeks. And then the game tonight got flexed also. So even more pressure on. And sometimes the Vikings have not fared well with that. But, that was kind of with Pizza Ranch Boys. So this is going to be like a Sam Darnold thing too. Can he hang? And I am still a Sam Darnold supporter because I don't think people are very, very quick to try to turn on Sam, old Sammy. Like that wasn't his fault about the last loss. All right. He maybe, could have made a couple throws a little bit more decent, but he didn't lose that game for the Vikings. So it's like, I'm not taking out my pitchfork for Sam Darnold or anything like that. All right. Oh my gosh, we're so close to game time. Joseph, 5 minutes to stream for me. Yes, you have a good night too, man. I will say hi. JJ says hi. Oh, yeah. She says hi back. So thank you. That's very nice. Yeah, because he's down in Arizona too. Vernon found this channel 2 years ago. The first live stream I showed up, oh my God, was Colts at Vikings. The 33-point comeback. Yeah, as a Titans fan, I admit that I can't stand the Colts. Talking about a Merry Christmas. That's, oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, and the 33-point comeback, the number 33 too, just in general, is just like a master number. Man, it's like all of these little things coming into play today. Yeah, and again, back to what I just realized when I first pulled up the chart and started talking about this, something that I didn't realize earlier is that the Colts are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, in astrology, can bring good luck, again, because it's the greater benefic planet. And the Colts are ruled by a horseshoe, which is traditionally known to bring good luck. So it's like, damn it. Ugh. All right. If the Vikings are replaying their 2016 season the exact same way, the Colts will win. Oh, God. Hopefully that's not what they're trying to accomplish this time around. Hopefully not. Oh, man. Okay. I've done so much talking and blathered and blathered and blathered about this chart. And so I'm going to finally make a prediction. This little piece of hair is bothering me right there. I swear my Leo rising shows all the time. Leo's obsessed with the hair. Okay. All right. I'm typing in the prediction now. I'm just making sure here. Oh, man. This is so hard. I say that every week, I feel like, too. All right. Shoot. Okay. All right. Well, I will say this could come back to bite me in the ass. It very well could, but I'll deal with that if it comes. I'll deal with that if it comes. But I'm going to take, and now I'm just like, right when I posted, I'm like, no, that's going to be wrong. But I got to go with it. Again, my original thought when I was looking at this chart was the Vikings have it. And I still feel like they could potentially take it. But this Joe Flacco, the Capricorn, the Saturn of it all, and again, this just like inkling in the back of my mind, the extra pressure on the Vikings. And I always will come back and check my work. I always do that. And like I said, I might try to pop in maybe tomorrow or Tuesday just to do a little recap, just because I'm not doing the whole game tonight. So I'm planning on doing that. So then we'll talk about it. And what's really great about astrology is I can go back and check my work at the end. I can go back and see what I got right or got wrong, which is really good. But I don't know. Just this like little gut thing in the back of my mind, the Saturn of it all, the Joe Flacco of it all. I'm going to take the Colts with the upset tonight, okay, by like 1 to 6 points. I think it's going to be a close one. I think they're going to be able to hang. And if the Vikings do end up winning the game tonight, I do really think it will be, and this shouldn't really be a surprise, but it's just funny that it's also reflected in the chart. I do think the Geminis are going to be the important factors for the game tonight for the Vikings, and that being Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, and Kevin O'Connell, which, if you think about it, obviously your head coach is important. Your quarterback is extremely important. Your number one wide receiver, if not the number one wide receiver in the league, is also important. So it's not like a huge shock to the system. But again, this Joe Flacco thing, I don't know. And that's, again, what kind of led me to the conclusion here of this. And again, I'm going against what I first originally thought with the chart. So that, me being a Capricorn, I might get my own karma and that coming back to bite me in the ass. It very well could, but it's just like something, again, that I can't quite ignore. So yeah, what do you guys think about all of that? Does anybody have any predictions? Any last final thoughts? Because we got about 2 minutes until game time. I am going to pop off here for tonight, but I did want to make the prediction, do the planetary pregame. But like I said, I'll try to come on it tomorrow or maybe Tuesday to just kind of do a little recap of the game. And I am really excited, and I hope it's a good one. I hope it's not a blowout. And the one thing too, just touching on like the blowout of it all, if it is a blowout, I could see the Vikings being the one to blow them out because Mercury is the planet again that is ruling the Vikings tonight, and Mercury is 19 degrees away from the planet Venus, and Venus rules the Vikings' fifth house of how they're going to play the game tonight. So it could be some sort of 19 to 20 victory point margin there. I'm just saying if there is a blowout, like that's how I could see it potentially playing out, is the Vikings potentially getting the blowout. But I've been right on before. I've been way off the mark before. So again, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, that's what I'm taking tonight. And again, it could come back to bite me, but I will see, and I'll assess that later. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully it's gonna be fun. And as a Vikings fan, I hope with my prediction that I'm wrong. But as an astrologer, I would like to be right. So it's always it's hard when I pick against the Vikings as a Vikings fan. But again, when you do the astrology, you have to stay as objective as possible. And that has definitely come back to bite me too. When I've, my fandom is kind of sneaking in a little bit more, kind of like, yeah, damn it. Like I wanted them to win, but chart didn't say that. So we'll see. But I really appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope you enjoy the game. Again, hopefully I'll see you either Monday, Tuesday, doing a little post-game recap, probably more like Tuesday. But we'll see what the Vikings can do. We'll see what Joe Flacco looks like tonight, the Saturn, the Capricorn of it all. So yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Even though this was almost an hour stream, we're getting close to like 15 minutes. It feels so short. Like it just started and I'm already done. But Soda 612, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, again, appreciate everybody coming in, the comments, the compliments, the kudos. I really appreciate all of you guys. So you're great. And yeah, let's have a good game. And for all the Vikings fans out there, go Vikings. Skol time. All right. Colts fans, you're fine too. But as a Vikings fan, we'll see. All right. Everybody, take care. You have a great Sunday night. Hopefully continues to be a Sunday fun day. All right. And I'll see you next time. Jesse, you stay safe out there. Okay. Everybody stay safe, not just Jesse, but your hair looks great, Jade. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Good hair day. As a Leo rising. Again, I love that. So yeah, appreciate it. Yes. You're a Capricorn and you're west of the Mississippi. And you know what? We'll see. Jesse, the streak continues. DM watching the games, and the streak maybe can break there because DM said when he's been watching they've been losing, and he's gonna watch tonight, so maybe we can break that streak there. That'd be nice. So yeah, and the Capricorns, we love the Capricorns. I mean, all the signs are great. But 406, you have a great week too. Appreciate you. Hi Mars, always good to see you. Just got here. Oh no, YouTube's not sending you notifications. What the hell? Damn it. Sometimes they turn off. It's weird. Even on like channels that I'm subscribed to too, where I know damn well that I turn those notifications on, for some reason it's off. So could be some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy around here. Oh no. But Mars, it's good to see you. And I know you just joined, but I'm only just doing the planetary pregame tonight. So, because my mom is visiting my mom. So that's why I'm not doing the whole game, even though she would support doing the whole game. But so anyway, but hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow or Tuesday to do a little recap. And I always enjoy hanging out and talking to you guys. And again, we'll see if the prediction comes true or not. Yeah, fat fingers. It happens. It's all good. And if you're typing on the phone too, I feel that because when I'm in somebody else's chat on YouTube and I'm on my phone, I feel like it's so much harder to type than on the computer. Because on the computer, you got the actual keys. That's why I miss my BlackBerry, too. I was hanging on to that thing for dear life because I like the keyboard. But all right, everybody, let's see what happens. Go Vikings. Hopefully it's a good game. And again, take care, everybody. Be good. Stay safe. Do all the things. All right? Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you later.